Mute again.
Hello, Mooji.
Hello.
I just want to start off by saying thank you
Thank you.
and namaste.
Namaste.
It's hard to believe how much you've been able to raise my awareness in just a few hours with you. My question is about relationship. So I feel like when it comes to relationship, part of me wants to escape from relationship because it creates so much trouble and confusion. But you know, it's whenever I try to, it creates so much resistance within me. It seems to be something that's so so hardwired inside of us that we can't really escape it, even if we try to. The desire for intimacy is so strong. So how do we navigate this area with more wisdom?
Very good question. Of course, it is one of the great attractions for the human being, no? To be in relationship. We all are in relationships all the time in life. We are relating and developing relationships at work and with each other. I will include that in the big picture of relationships, but I think you're speaking also romantic relationships.
Yeah, intimate.
And so on. Intimate relationships, yeah. Okay. And you say that they bring trouble, but maybe they bring up trouble also. They also create some, also. They can do. But
I've always told myself, well, sometimes I say, what's the point of being in a relationship before you're enlightened? Is that...
It's a good one.
But then I could be waiting my whole life.
It could be a good population control system. Maybe the point is also, can we, apart from, obviously, we experience so much challenges and so on in relationships, especially, not all, some of them, I would say it is possible, of course, if you're not just in a hurry and needy, if a relationship is brought along your way, along your path, it can turn out that's also, you may find someone much more compatible, and compatible does not necessarily mean a pure reflection of how you are now. It could be that someone with whom that cause you to be stretched, in reaching places that that a relationship helps you to reach. When we are living in with that authentic urge for growth and so on, they can be like this also. But when they spring from this neediness, often so much trouble come with them, and perhaps trouble more than the capacity presently showing within ourselves to deal with those troubles even, you see. So, in one way it seems unavoidable, like it's almost can appear to be choiceless, that it seems like you're compelled into them. And we will swim as best as we can, or drown, or, sorry, I'm sounding a bit fatalist here, but that's not my intention. But, yes. So what you want to find out?
I'm not really sure. I guess I just, like you said, it seems unavoidable, but I wish there was a way to, it's how you can't avoid it. So it's like.
But don't you learn also from them? If you have that kind of aptitude, if you have that urge within you, you will learn, as everyone will do, if you have that urge within you for growth and for discovery. You will use anything actually to grow from it, bitter or sweet, bitter and sweet, And as long as we retain a strong loyalty to the sense of personhood, to that extent, relationships will be very challenging and difficult to raise up in a beautiful way, because sometimes people's aspirations are not so high. They just want to be married, want to have some children, and they have a picture. They have a picture of what a relationship should be, which is not such a good thing in many cases. If we have a fixed ideas, many people have fixed ideas about how a relationship should be. Women particularly, I'm sorry. They have fixed ideas, this is what it should be like, And then your role is to fit into that picture and, be the prince in shining armor and all this type of thing. And men tend to want different things.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
I heard this thing one time. I cannot testify it is true or not, but I'm just going to share it with you. There's a saying that, for instance, in the case of sex, because we're not so far from the sex thing, so that men use affection to get sexual gratification, and women use sex to get emotional gratification. I don't know how true this is. You see, my point is that there's a concept that men are made for women, women made for men. My feeling is that man is made for God and woman is made for God. You see, if we are really fulfilling each other in the way that we often imagine, but at the same time, because that attraction is so powerful, then the best is that we can grow from what we learn, bitter or sweet, as I say before, that everything, if you are earnest and introspective, you will see that you can learn from everything that happens. It gives you an opportunity to go more deeply and to overcome certain difficulties. Some things are brought out in relationships, intimate relationships, that other relationships won't get to that point. They are brought out, they're reflected, they're pulled up into visibility in that type of intimate relationships, you see. And will you regret them? I think we only regret things if you have not really taken the full use of them. If you expect especially that it should be like this, and there should be no deep emotional challenges, or the ego should not be, have a good beating or something now and again. If you are more open than that, then you will learn much more quickly from them, and also maybe have a very beautiful balance in relationship. No?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that relationships weren't something that I had to avoid on the spiritual path, because that's just what I was wondering,
Okay, no, you don't
yeah.
have to avoid, unless you have a kind of an addiction for it. But like everything else, what is beautiful about that, and also if you have a family, what happens is sometimes when people have had some spiritual awakening, they are quick, the mind is quick to say, yes, I've done it, and now I am, don't refer to me as George anymore, call me the great I am or something. To prevent such arrogance from exploding on the scene, it's good when we have families and you have to face your family and you have to soften yourself, and they help. All these things help. Relationships help to deflate the ego sometimes rather than inflate it also. That you're not so quick to be judgmental also, which can come up very often when some insight, some waves of illumination or clarity or insight happens in us. There can be a tendency to feel that a bit superior or something like that. And when you have to continue interacting with those that you love and those that God put in your company, it helps you also to not be so typecasting of people. Other things, but yes, I don't see any natural impediment about it.
I once heard someone say that when two enlightened people are in a relationship, it creates the greatest paradox in existence.
And what is that paradox?
I'm not sure.
That they could be enlightened people?
I don't know. Just wanted to see what you thought about it.
I didn't think about it, so to enlighten people, I don't feel that the beings think of themselves as enlightened. You know, I'm an enlightened person. My wife is also an enlightened person. They are the most natural in their. Others may say they are enlightened and so on, but they don't carry that type of thing. It is the most natural. Becomes natural. You see, you don't walk around saying, "Look, I'm breathing." See, no, it's a natural thing. About what is natural, we don't have to make a noise about it. It's only because it appears to be so rare that we, being the natural self, have adopted something that is not really natural, you see. And so when our natural self becomes revealed in another form or something, we feel, wow, that is so fantastic, but it is just a reflection of your pure nature. And I don't feel that anyone has as much fun as an awakened being. Just to counteract the idea that, an awakened one is just sitting around like, an enlightened vegetable or something on some shelf, I don't feel. Because they are perceiving the life without judgments, without projecting all this nonsense that the personal mind tends to do. Things are seen in the cool light of a clear mind and so on. So the joy is even more subtle and more beautiful, in fact. So nothing to be afraid of.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah. Okay.